glad you dropped in today. This is Gagajoy at Gagajoy's Cooking. And today we're going to be making things for Thanksgiving. We're going to be making side dishes till Thanksgiving. And we're a little bit behind, so we're going to try to catch up. Today is Scalloped Oyster Dressing. It's very easy. And this is not the only dressing I make at Thanksgiving. I always make two. I make one with oysters in it, then I make my plain dressing. So today we're making scalloped. And the first thing we do is I've got a 3/4 cup of onions, 3/4 cup of celery. I have 2 garlic cloves chopped up, 2 eggs, and this is 3/4 cup of sage, 3/4 cup of poultry seasoning, and we do have thyme. I'm gonna put thyme in the skillet and just let it fall off as it may, and because thyme's really important in something like this. Now the oysters, they go into a pot too, and in their own liquor. In their own liquor. These are huge oysters, so I have to cut them up. We can't believe the oysters here are so big. We can't get the other ones, so we had to get the select. But that's no problem. I'll cut them up. So you put the oyster dressing on. The oysters on, and you let them heat. You just let them come to a heat. You can't not too hot, but one that's you can still stick your finger in without it being too much. Now you can use olive oil, which I usually do, but today I've decided to use, I'm going to use butter to do my onions and celery. It's just one of those things, I change my mind sometimes. Now let's see, now I used 4 cups of cornbread, and it wasn't quite 4 cups, so I threw a couple biscuits in. And so I'm sure, which I love to do, I love to put biscuits in this. So it may be a little bit more than 4 cups for me, but you know, it doesn't have to be exact science. And then 2 cups of parsley, 2 tablespoons of parsley. And I love to smell garlic, onions, and celery. So let's do it. Garlic, onions, and celery. And in this case, thyme. Woo. I like to do my dressing early and freeze it. That's what I'm doing today. I'm doing my dressing early and I'm going to freeze it. Tomorrow I'll do the other dressing and freeze it, and then when Thanksgiving gets here, that part's behind. Is the dressings fixed? It's very easy to fix a turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, and then, you know, the side dishes. So today will be the beginning of my dressing. And this smells good. I love this time of year, and I start planning early. I've already got most of the things in I'm going to fix, and we still got 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks from yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and put the dry herbs in this too before I put it into dressing. Now my oysters, I let them get a little too hot here, I think. That's just fine, fine, as long as they... Take the oysters out so I can cut them up. I put the thyme over in them too, so, but the strainer will get the thyme leaves and everything out of it. Okay. I'm going to dump the oyster liquid, the oyster liquor, what everybody calls it, into that. And let me cut the oysters up to add. I just cut things up with the scissors. I'm a good scissor person. At least I know I'm not going to cut myself with scissors. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, and we'll just add our oysters and just, I've got to add my eggs and probably a little bit of, a lot of times the oyster liquor is enough, but with me adding those biscuits, I'm going to have to add a little bit of chicken broth. But first let me put my eggs in there. Now I set my oven on 375, so, and I'm just going to put maybe a half a cup of this at a time and see how wet we get. I don't like real wet dressing, so I believe this is just perfect. With scalloped oyster dressing, it has to be a little fluffy anyway. Actually, I make my regular dressing like this. Basically, and of course, instead of the oysters, I use, for my meat, I use Italian sausage with plenty of everything else. So it's basically the same, just the meat changes. Okay. I'll have to say that that oyster liquor almost did it, didn't it? Because I think I add about half a cup of the chicken stock, so we did good. Now, I'm not going to press it down. I'm going to let it be as fluffy as it can. Okay, I'm getting ready to put it in the oven. And we'll be back in about 40 minutes. And there's the dressing. And I can't wait. It looks so good. And don't touch it because it's hot. Get me a taste off the corner, but I'm gonna let it cool. That's so good. That's as good an oyster dressing as I've seen, and I've eaten them out. It's got a very mild taste of the oysters. The biscuits and the cornbread together look wonderful. It's a good combination. Hope you try it for Thanksgiving or Christmas, either one, or any time of the year. We've had a good day. We'll be coming up with some more Thanksgiving recipes. Stay tuned. See you soon. Remember the joy.